Hello, welcome to Midlands Today with Suzanne Verdi and Nick Owen.
The headlines tonight.
Divided families after his son was taken to Thailand. A father campaigns to help other parents.
I realised that nobody was going to help, so I knew I had to do it myself.
Demands for new safety measures after a spate of drownings in the River Severn.
It's too dangerous, it's taken too many lives, and who's going to be next?
Crops in the shops 2 weeks early thanks to the fast-fading memory of an unseasonably hot spring.
And heel train here for 2012. Now another national squad will make this their Olympics home.
Good evening, welcome to Wednesday's Midlands Today from the BBC. Tonight, more and more parents face the agony of seeing a child snatched and taken abroad.
There's been a big increase in the number of children abducted and taken by one parent against the wishes of the other. A leading charity working in the field says cases are up by a third this year.
One father who saw his own child taken is now campaigning to help other parents who face a similar ordeal. Our special correspondent Peter Wilson has been investigating.
What would you do if you came home and found your foreign-born wife had left along with your son? Sean Felton from Norton Keynes near Cannock had been married for 5 years, but his Thai wife, known as Kim, disappeared with his little boy Joe. His father spent 6 months tracking him down, using a false Facebook account and pretending to be a millionaire American playboy.
I looked on Google, seen this handsome guy standing next to a Ferrari, and basically just set up a false Facebook account and requested her to be friends.
He gleaned information and eventually tracked his son down to a hut on the Thai-Burma border. He eventually legally brought his son home.
He wasn't speaking Thai and he wasn't speaking English. It was just, I think, the trauma he'd been through. It was gibberish.
You've obviously got your hands full. What was it like getting your son back?
I found him in a hut. No hot water, no running water, and he'd got chipped teeth. His fingernails had been ripped out on his thumbs, and he'd got bruises all up his back, which was permanent.
Sean is setting up a charity called Abducted Angels to give other parents advice.
Since I've been helping people and talking to people all over the world, that has sort of boosted me up again. And the fight I had searching for Joe is sort of carrying on, looking at helping all the other people.
Almost 3 years ago, this Birmingham mother received a text message from her estranged husband saying that he wasn't going to bring her 2 boys back home after a weekend. Instead, he was fleeing the country to Syria. Despite all the recent protests and upheavals in the Middle East, Dr. Yusra Abu Hamid did eventually find them. These CCTV pictures show the moment when she was reunited with Sami and Rami. But the trauma the children experienced was awful.
They were extremely damaged. The little one, Rami, when he first saw me, I opened my arm. He wanted to run at me. Sami started to shout at me. I felt at that moment that he was too scared about Rami that I'm going to take him away from him.
One Midlands charity, Reunite, has seen a 34% increase in reports of children being removed from one parent and abducted abroad by another. Tonight, Dr. Abu Hamid is meeting with the British Foreign Office, but her fight to get her children back seems no nearer reaching its end. Peter Wilson, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
In our Leicester studio now is Sharon Cook from Reunite, an international helpline and advice centre for parents worldwide who face these types of problems. Thanks for joining us, Sharon. Now, the increase in people contacting you this year is astonishing. What, 34%? Why do you think it is?
Well, unfortunately, it increases every year, and we believe that it's due to mixed national marriages. Travel is more available to people now, more affordable, And also when it comes to their employment and things like that, they work for a national company, they work for an international company, they may travel abroad for work, and also we're seeing more families relocate to other countries.
So we are sort of seeing a downside of our global society in this country, the increase in intermarrying between different cultures?
Possibly, yes.
Without talking about specific cases, we saw a man in our report who'd got his son back, but a woman who still hasn't been able to get her sons home. Do you think it's more difficult for women?
Not necessarily. I think it's difficult for any parent, but it all depends on which country that you're dealing with. So when you refer to mothers, there are some countries that could be more difficult for them to go to court and get their child back. It really does depend on the country that you deal with.
Just briefly, are the authorities doing enough to help, do you think, parents whose children have been abducted?
Well, again, that is very difficult also. This is why we focus on prevention measures and trying to get the awareness out there to parents. When it comes to other government authorities and people like that, again, if the child is removed to another country, you're governed by that law in that country if it's a non-convention country.
Sharon Cook, thank you very much.
Thank you.